different. We have Dogg Gaming as the new co-host now. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing very well. Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Very excited about being the new co-host. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Glad to have you here, man. We will miss Sodomi for sure, like we were saying. But I'm very excited to have Dogg here as a co-host. This is very cool. And then we have a returning guest today, MPICreates. What's going on, man? It's so good to see you, dude. And Sans beard.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. I had to shave my beard for Halloween again, so now my face is freezing. We got freezing temperatures last night, down to 20 degrees, and my face is so damn cold.
For real?
Yeah, dude. It was like 22 degrees last night or something like that, I think is what it got down to. And it's supposed to be in the 70s by Saturday, so, you know, weather's made up, right?
What state are you in?
Indiana, dude. Good old Midwest.
Dude, Michigan is still like, it was like 38 degrees this morning, which is cold, but like the fact that it hasn't gotten down to freezing as far as I know, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stay up north, which is weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
Doesn't make any sense at all. But today, everybody, we got some things, not really necessarily like tips to make your stream better or anything. This is kind of like more things to help your mindset a little bit and to kind of like mentally progress, I guess, in a way, as a streamer or content creator, entertainer, whatever it is. I think these will all kind of apply to more than just streaming. But the first thing that I have here is you're providing the opportunity for entertainment. You're not taking their enjoyment. Don't worry about the reactions that you are getting. Worry about the things that you are doing to get those reactions. Are you always providing an opportunity for entertainment? It doesn't matter how you want to entertain people, but you only have so much time to grab someone's attention. Are you worried about playing well or making that moment entertaining? Yeah, so I think a lot of the time when people stream, they're trying to go off of the reactions from their chat a lot of the time, and they're looking for their chat to be reacting to things, but they're not really in the right, like they might not be in the moment necessarily trying to make that specific moment entertaining for the person. They might be more worried about what they think about what's going on, when you should just be kind of, I guess, in your own thing, just worrying about entertaining people. Because like, if you think about it, Joe Rogan's podcast is super popular, very entertaining, but that dude never reads the comments, never takes input from anybody that isn't directly affiliated with him, and he still continues to make good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he's honest throughout the whole thing, he's entertaining throughout the whole thing, but he doesn't take input from other people. So that means that you can still be entertaining without chat necessarily. And I think that people need to kind of like worry a little bit less about chat and worry more about just making the content that they're currently playing. We'll start with Dogg Gaming on this one.
Yeah, I think kind of what you're getting at here is to sort of live in the moment, if you will.
Yeah,
the right kind of way to put it. You know, the experiences. Look, when you're streaming, that things are going to happen that they can be entertaining depending on how you react to them. Mm-hmm. You know, as you were pointing out about, are you more worried about what's going on in the game? Have you died badly in the game? Did you react badly to it, or did you make something more entertaining out of it? Did you make fun of it? Did you laugh at it? Did you make a joke about how it went down and what you did? You know, these are all positive ways to make something from that negative part of that's happened in your game. If you react negatively, however, if you're more concerned about the fact that you've just died in the game and you're annoyed about that, then you've missed an opportunity and you've not put the right vibe out, you know. And I think living in the moment and just accepting it as, you know, again, we get back to something I've said on a number of occasions. You know, very few. I doubt anybody watching just now or even listening is a professional gamer, i.e., plays whatever game at a professional level. In which case, why are you bothered about how well you're doing on stream? You know, like if you're a pro gamer, of course, your reputation's built on that. It's a huge part of what you do and everything. But if you're just someone that likes gaming, enjoys gaming, you might be quite good at gaming. Why are you worried about how well you're doing on camera? Like, because it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Like, your viewers are there regardless of whether you're doing well or not. So, like, how you react is as to how they react back to it, you know? So I think a lot of people, and I know that I certainly suffered from this at the start as well, worrying about how well I was doing in game and getting frustrated, and when I wasn't performing well, and days that I would have bad days in game, and those would turn into bad streams, but they don't have to. It can just be I had a bad game, I had a bad day gaming, but stream was fun because we laughed about it. We laughed about how bad I was. Like I kept fluffing my shots and we made fun of it. So yeah, I think try to live in the moment and not be as worried about impressing people. You people are already there to watch you. Like what do you need to impress them for? They're literally there. So. Yeah, I agree. I think it's important, and again, it touches on the stuff we've been talking about. Streaming is more than just switching on and doing whatever it is you're doing. There has got to be thought about it. There has got to be, and for a lot of us, we've got to change the way we approach certain things because that's just who we are, and our character doesn't really lend itself to doing that. So we need to think outside the box and change our behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you made a lot of really good points there. MPI, what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys both kind of made a lot of good points and a lot of sense there. Like Velokk, you mentioned, other podcasts, like you don't have that feedback right away, maybe, or maybe if the podcast is too large, or like even streams are too large, like you can't read all that chat. Like it moves too fast, and they don't take that input. They don't have to have that, and people can make the argument of, well, they're more entertaining. They're professional entertainers, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you're trying to grow and create a channel on Twitch and you're an entertainer, you're an entertainer. Sure, they're doing it longer, but you are still in the same business. You have to be doing the same thing. And, you could have 25 people watching, but let's say you stream at noon Central time. A lot of those people might be at work. And they have you on in the background, and you're their entertainment to get through the day. They can't be responding in chat, but you are still entertaining them. So you have to make sure, like, when something happens in game, even if it's frustrating, be frustrated by it. That's fine. Like, I'm not saying don't be upset at a video game. Like, that's, like you're frustrated. You're a frustrated person at that moment. That's fine. But like, don't like shut down with it. Maybe ham it up a little bit. Be like, take it to the next level of like, that was crazy. Did you guys see that? Our game's clearly broken. It's not me. Like, make a joke and a meme out of it at that point and move on. Yeah, like you won't always have people chatting. You won't always be making content that's live. If you're making YouTube videos, you have to be reacting to the game or reacting to whatever you're doing and still be entertaining without anyone there giving you feedback. And that if anything, that's good practice, is make a let's play video and then watch it back and look at where you don't talk. Look at the parts where you like just stop and kind of play the game and that's it, and see where you can improve. And then when you go back to your live streams, you won't even have to worry about chat. And that can even lead to better chat interaction because you're not, every 2 or 3 minutes like, hey chat, how you doing? What'd you guys have for lunch? Like, trying to like egg them on, like it's just natural. It flows at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mentioned a really good thing there, the practicing by making let's play videos. I've been wanting to get into YouTube because I noticed that I sometimes have a hard time just trying to, or feeling like I'm funny when I'm streaming on Twitch. I know that people say that I'm funny, but the thing is, like, when you say something that's funny or that you think is funny and then chat reacts positively with like a lol emote or whatever, that some people found that humorous, but sometimes they don't always type that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes they don't always just type out a reaction, but they can still find it funny. And that's what kind of messes with me, because I start to like doubt myself a little bit. And so I've almost like, in my head, I've thought about like, well, what if I just were to remove chat, like the whole element of chat in the first place? Then I wouldn't have to worry about whether or not I'm being funny. I could just worry about trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one less thing to have go through my head. And YouTube, I think, is the way to do that and practice, just like MPI was saying. So it makes a lot of sense. You guys absolutely nailed it.
Touching on what you were saying about doubt, I think this is a good topic to talk about as well.
Yeah.
I have this very corny. I have this very corny saying that I say to myself, and it's this, right? If I doubt my powers, I give power to my doubts, right? And when it comes down to streaming, for example, now I'm not saying you should never doubt yourself, okay? There are decisions we have to make in life that we have to question ourselves, and on serious stuff we have to look at our own actions and stuff, right? But when it comes to making content, when it comes to entertaining people, you can't doubt yourself. You've got to just put it out there, haven't you? You've got to put it out there, and because regardless, it's got they'll have a negative or a positive reaction regardless, but it's still a reaction, isn't it? And you still put it out there, and it's a way of learning as well. That one didn't go down as well. That joke wasn't quite as funny, as I maybe thought it was. Do you know what I mean? But like when you're doing that, you're building up a confidence in yourself. Because you are taking those steps, you are putting yourself out there, and so the whole thing about doubt, as I say, in serious parts of your life, question yourself and be serious about it, But when it comes to content creation, what's the harm in trying? As long as you're not breaking TOS, what's the harm in trying? Sometimes it's going to fall on its face, but sometimes it's really going to work. There are people out there that have shot to Twitch, internet fame, whatever, because they did something just a little bit different. They thought, why not? Let's do it, and it worked. And it brought the attention to them for long enough for them to be able to showcase themselves and build on that. So when it comes to doubting yourself about your content, you've got to be your biggest fan. You've got to be like your mum and your gran. You know how your mum and your gran think like you can do anything? Oh, you could walk on water. No, well, I couldn't, gran. That's not actually possible. But you've got to be like that. You've got to have that level of, because here's the thing, right? See all the people that are big and famous and popular. The big thing that most of them have going for them is you can't mark their confidence in themselves. You can't mark, with a blowtorch, you couldn't mark it. They know I'm the real deal. And even if some of them deep down don't believe it, they still act like that because they fake it until they make it. Do you know what I mean? So yes, can't doubt yourself.
Absolutely. I've been thinking about that a lot recently with the whole doubt thing. I'm glad we're talking about this because I've been watching a lot of inspirational or motivational videos and stuff like that. And a lot of things one thing that a lot of people say is you have to kind of disregard discomfort, basically. And that, that's just one more thing that you're thinking about, whether it's you're doubting yourself or whatever. It's one more thing that you're thinking about that's keeping you from doing that creative thing. Like Dogg was just saying, like, what if a certain artist didn't put out a really, really popular song just because they doubted themselves on it? But that's just one thing that wouldn't be out here right now. It's so huge. I don't know. MPI, do you have anything on this?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have, I think, some topics kind of about this a little bit down in our chat I was looking at.
Yeah.
That could easily bring it up too. So we might kind of rehash this a little bit. Okay. But man, if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and nothing's happening, what do you expect? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying if you want to be if you want to be Velokk and Velokk, you just want to make entertaining, uplifting, high energy, fun content. I'm not saying that tomorrow you should go out and build the next Dr. Disrespect persona. Go from being yourself to a persona streamer, and then be like, nope, don't like that character. We're back to me again, or anything like that. That's a huge shift. Don't do something that you won't want to do that you won't be happy or entertained doing yourself, because then you're just going to be miserable the whole time.
That's true.
That's not going to end up well for anyone. You'll hate it. You'll burn yourself out, and you'll quit. Or definitely. Your community will see that and be like, you don't even want to be here. Why should I be here? But if you I know, Dogg, you kind of recently went through this a while ago whenever you had some problems with Rainbow Six, where you just couldn't get into matches, right? So you branched out and tried different games. you played some story games on stream. You played various things and kind of tried new things, and I think that went pretty well.
It did, yeah.
So like that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Like branch out, try different games. If maybe you're an artist, but you've been playing Call of Duty forever and you've noticed you're not growing in Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty. It's a big directory. It's hard to grow in, man. Let's be real. But you're, an amazing digital artist, or you paint or whatever. Try that on stream. People love art streams. Like, do things that you enjoy doing and just try them. Like, I've kind of found a variety-ish niche in this last October that I always do horror games for a month. And I was like, why don't I only do that for a month? I love this shit. And like, I have more people come to watch it than anything else. So I'm like, I'm just going to roll with some horror games for a little while. And then, if you stop liking horror games, cool, go play, The Witcher or whatever. Like, just play different stuff, do different stuff on stream. And if you do it for a week and you don't like it, cool, go back to what you were doing. You hated it and you tried it, but you learned that you hate it.
Exactly.
Like,
and
it's
so
not going to harm you.
Exactly. And it also makes it clearer in your mind what it is that you're wanting to do on Twitch. If you're trying other stuff and you're like, you know what, that's not for me, it's not for you. There's no doubt in your mind about that now, like you can set that aside. So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and you're not going to find out what you do or don't like until you do it. Like, if you don't ever try to play, the game that you like, but you really only play it off of stream because you don't think people will watch it, but it's your favorite video game in the entire world, what are you doing? Try it. Like, you're never going to know if people will watch you play it if you don't give it a go.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and Chad, if you guys have any questions about what we're talking about or about your specific channels or anything, let us know. We'll answer it as soon as we can. You can at myself and TRUgaming, and we'll get to it. So the next one we have is hold yourself to a high standard. If you want to be better at anything, then you can't allow yourself to take an easy day. You can't push for things tomorrow. You need to start working on progression right now. Start building habits, and you will start becoming more entertaining. If you want to be funnier, then actively try to be funnier today. Not all of your jokes are going to work, but you will at least be making progress at and establishing those habits. And so this doesn't just pertain to making jokes or anything. Obviously, this is for everything. If you want to be more entertaining, then try to actively be more entertaining during every stream all the time. It has to be like the thing that's always on the top of like the front of your brain. It has to be like you're consuming thought essentially while you're live, because it's the most important part if you do want to grow as a streamer or anything at all. But MPI, what do you think about this, man?
I mean, I like a lot of it. I don't know if I love the wording of it, if that makes sense.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because like, you can't allow yourself to take an easy day, bro. Take breaks. 100% take a break.
True.
But like, if it is a work day, like if you've decided, I'm taking I'm taking this week off, but next week when Monday comes around, you got to work that day. If it is a day that you're working, make sure you're doing it. Work. Do what you need to be doing, but still, take your breaks. They're important. Like, I just did.
Yeah, absolutely.
After tonight, it'll be 10 days straight of making something, either being live or working on content. I'm not streaming the rest of this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm taking the week off. I decided I'm just going to enjoy a week off after the Halloween ending push. But next week we're going to come back full force when we do it. But yeah, like making habits or creating lists and like kind of sticking with what you need to be doing, that is huge. And if you're wanting to learn and grow, that's part of that too. It's part of that habit, if that makes sense. Take a day, take maybe even just like an hour of every whatever day you want it to be. And if your whole goal is to be comedic on Twitch, go look up stand-up comedy. Go look at improv classes. Look at improv videos on YouTube. Like I'm 100% sure there is free content out there that teaches you how to be better at improv, that teaches you how to be better at delivering jokes, or being a motivational speaker. I don't know, whatever you want it to be. just research it, look into it. If you can read books, you can read articles, you can watch videos, listen to podcasts like the StreamKey podcast you're listening to right now. Like, this can be part of that, you know, and it can be entertaining doing that. Like, I don't think every YouTube video about comedy or improv is just going to be like, what's the dry eyes guy named Bill Stein or whatever, where he's just like, today we're going to talk about how to be funny on the internet. No, they're going to be entertaining. You're going to laugh while you're learning. Like, it's more fun than math class. Like, so take some time and do all of that. And if something that is better for you is making lists or creating like a checklist for yourself, if that's what you need, do that. If part of your getting ready for stream is like standing in the back of your stream room and like punching the air or dancing, listen to music, whatever gets you hyped up, make that part of your habit. You know, do what you need to do to when you are on camera, make it the best content you can.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dogg Gaming.
Yeah, I totally agree. These are fantastic tips. I'd like to talk about something just slightly different about it. Same topic though. Holding yourself to a high standard. First, the thing that you have to do is you have to be watching your VODs. You have to be watching your own content. You can't, and you have to continue to do that. Exactly. If you're doing what MPI says and you're away and you're trying to be better at comedy, you're doing even some improv classes, watching videos and stuff. If you're not then watching your VODs back to see if it's working for you, if you're making progress, then you're not really getting the right kind of feedback on yourself. You know, all of the improvement, all of the setting goals for yourself starts with identifying what those goals are. So otherwise, you're just going to be randomly firing in the dark at targets. You know, so start off by looking at your own content, identifying the areas that you want to get better at, and then actively doing the things such that MPI has said. You know, we've been using comedy as the standard example here, but whatever it is, you know, identify it and identify ways that you can do things that will help you improve that, and then go back and look to see if you're improving. You know, that's how you get a proper feedback loop of what's happening. And you can track your progress, and in doing so as well, it will help you, because when you are making progress, it will give you that good feeling, you know, of I've achieved something, I've improved here, I identified the area, I went and I've worked on it hard, and I'm getting my results. You know, so it's important that when you're working on these things to look back on and look back on what you've done, and notice the things that you've done, and congratulate yourself for them. Be happy about it. This is part of improving. You know, it's not. This is work we're talking about. This is actually doing stuff that takes some time and might not be as entertaining all the time. It might not always be improv classes that you're watching. It could be something really dry and boring, but that you need to know. And so, you know, looking back and seeing the progress is how you get that dopamine hit that keeps you going, because you're like, I'm doing well, and I'm going to continue off doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely didn't I definitely didn't mean that people shouldn't have days off. I definitely should have worded that better, and I apologize.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I kind of figured.
I know you. Yeah, I know you weren't like thinking I was just being like stupid or whatever, but man, I just lost my head. Yeah, so my bad. Definitely take days off. You know, like, well, take the scheduled days off, take those off for sure. But if you have a day where you need to be doing something, if you're having a bad day, that's totally fine. And I think that you should be able to take a day off every once in a while, but there still should be some sort of progress made on that day. I think some sort of work done on that day. It might not have to be live on stream, because you might not be feeling it, but I think staying in the habit of working on a work day is important, at least even a little bit. Let's see. Next topic we have is,
before we hop to the next one, I want to say something like that you just said.
Yeah.
On your work days, it doesn't have to be on stream. God, please remember that. We talk. I feel like this gets talked about a lot on the show, but like, I don't know how much I can stress it. Of do not stream 7 days a week and expect that be everything you do. Like, streaming should be the fun part of all the other hard work you've done.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like the treat, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like the pizza party.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next topic we have is surround yourself with people who want you to do well. Start conversations with like-minded streamers. The amount of inspiration you can get from someone else without them even trying to give you inspiration is huge. The best way to connect with someone is probably through a DM. If you want to support their stream, then absolutely go in there and hang out. But real connections are made through conversations. Don't be afraid to message a streamer that you really appreciate, no matter how big or small either one of you are. So I have a partner streamer friend by the name of Jambo, who's always had, obviously she's partner, so she has more viewers than me and everything. But none of that really matters because we've talked and hung out, and we just had like an actual like friendly connection with each other. Like we're really cool, and it wouldn't have happened if there wouldn't have been that initial contact. You know what I mean? Like the hey, like what's up, or I think I met her originally at Twitch Chicago or something. And, don't be afraid to go out and reach out to people and make those connections, because they can actually end up being very valuable friendships for sure. We'll start with Dogg Gaming here.
So there's a couple of points here that I want to touch on. The first thing you said was surround yourself with people who want you to do well. And that is so important, not just in streaming or content creation, but in your life. That's something, remove people that are toxic, i.e. they don't want you to do well. If somebody doesn't want you to do well, then they're toxic, so remove those people from your life. And that is important regardless of whether we're talking about content creation or your life in general. It's so what you were saying about reaching out to people, this is where I struggle. And I imagine it's where a lot of people struggle, especially if people have social anxiety issues. I have an awful habit of thinking that I'm annoying people, and that don't bother them. They're probably doing what they're doing and stuff like that. Now, that's something that I have struggled with for a long time, and it's something that I try to address, and it's something that I struggle still with. But I don't imagine that I'm alone in this. I don't imagine that I'm alone in this. And so this is something, it's touching on a subject that it's very important in streaming, but I think it also, again, it's a wider thing as well. This applies to just reaching out to people that you might think you could be friends with. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of whether it's for streaming content or not. So yeah, this is something that I actually personally have to work on a lot. So I probably don't have a lot to say about this.
I got you. That's fair. MPI, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know that I like have as big of a problem with this maybe as some people do. I worked in sales for like 7 years of my life, so I'm very used to just like, hey, sup, just like chatting with whoever. But I do understand, like, especially in that kind of place where you're at, like if you're trying to message like your favorite streamer, or like you're sending something to maybe like your favorite musical artist, and you're like, they don't give a crap about this, like this is just gonna annoy them. I feel that 100%, dude. But at the same time, like, it doesn't have to necessarily be just like sending them a DM or like an email or anything. It can just be, like a Twitter interaction, or interacting in chat. And then maybe at the end of the stream, just send them a message being like, hey, dude, love the stream. Stream was fantastic today. I really enjoy your content, whatever you want. But I think the place that I see and have like the most luck with that stuff is on Twitter. Because you can talk to anybody there. If they have a Twitter account, they're probably putting things on Twitter, and you can just respond to it of, I agree, that was funny on your stream, or like, I don't like that either. Whatever it is, you can have a conversation with them, and a lot of times that can lead to deeper conversations, and eventually, before you know it, now you guys are friends. Like, who would have thought? Like, just talking to people is helpful. Especially through that, because when somebody puts out a tweet of asking a question, they want you to respond. That's their whole goal, is to get responses. So those are easy ways to kind of like dip your toes in the water of talking to people like that, and how many times have you guys watched a stream where the streamer says, guys, don't forget too, like my DMs are open if you need something. 99% of the people who say that, they're not just saying it to say it. Like they want people to talk to them. That's what Twitch is about for a lot of people. And that's why they do live streaming versus just YouTube content, or versus like trying to get into like acting on television or whatever it is. They want to connect and they want to talk. So that's a perfect timing. They say their DMs are open. You send them a DM, just be like, just wanted to say what's up. Hope you're doing well. Really enjoyed the stream today or last week, whatever it is. And you know, if I can help with something, let me know. If you have questions and you need feedback for the stream, let me know. Or if you just want to like shoot shit one day, you know, let me know. I'm here. Let's talk. And I have made so many friends through Twitch that either I had known before I started streaming, or had like made a weird connection of we knew about each other through something else, like through like the music industry. Like so many people that play music now that I liked are streamers, and I'm like, yo, I saw your band in Chicago one day, and now we're friends. Like now we hang out and talk all the time. So like just reach out to people, man. It's hard at first. It really is. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's hard to put yourself out there. Think about the first time you hit go live on a stream. It was terrifying. Like I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and it's still terrifying sometimes when I hit go live. But like that's part of this. That's part of this world and industry, is just putting yourself out there and reaching out to people if you want or need to, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of the fear of reaching out to other streamers is you don't want to seem like you're trying to just talk about your stream or self promo at all.
Yes,
and
100%.
Honestly, like I think you should totally disregard that thought entirely when you're trying to message somebody or just reach out in any way, because if they're worried that you're trying to self promo, that's an insecurity on them. Like that's not your business. Like if you just want, like your intentions are your intentions, you know what I mean? Like reach out, be genuine, see what's up, and then if they receive it the wrong way, that's on them and you tried.
Right.
If that's the way they receive it, I probably wouldn't want to make that much of a connection with that person anyway, to be real.
That's fair.
Right. Yeah, especially if like you're just sending a very genuine like, hey, what's up? Or like, hey, really enjoyed the stream today kind of thing. Like, I mean, if you send them a message that's like, hey, come watch my stream at twitch.tv/I promote myself.
Right.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like, you're just trying to self promo, dude. But like, if you're legitimately trying to make a legitimate connection with someone, 90% of the time, I would say people can see that, you know, like streamers and viewers both typically are really good at seeing through BS. And sure, it can be hard sometimes to come across through like text versus like talking. You know, there's no inflection in text, so it can be hard. But yeah, like as long as you're not just saying, hey, come watch my stream, or can you critique my stream because you are streamer, you're probably fine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hope that you guys like start reaching out to people, because it really is nice when you start making those connections with people that like maybe might not be inside your current friend group. And another reason why I think that this is important, a thing that I mentioned there was the amount of inspiration you can get from someone else without them even trying is huge. When you get these like-minded people around you, just like their passion for what they're doing can really spark things in you about what you're trying to do with your life or your content or whatever it is. Like it might not even be an idea that they had necessarily. It could just be like the way that they're talking about how their day went or whatever. Just somebody else's inspiration is a lot more contagious, I guess, than people realize. And so that's why you should really start reaching out to those people that you think have the same kind of mindset as you. Because if you can make those connections with people, you can really start like making some real growth in certain things.
I think like part of it too is making sure that you're also interacting with those people like in their stream.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I've done recently is you guys know, pretty much anyone who's ever listened to the show probably knows that like mental health is a really important thing to me. And it's a big part of why I stream. There's a tag for that on Twitch. So I've just gone through it and watched people who are using the tag, and if they seem like they're legitimately wanting to use the tag to help better the stigma and discussions of mental health, even if it's just like kind of passively. Like, I don't actively like go on stream and have like a prepared topic to talk about, because I'm not a mental health professional. I never will be. But like just passively talking about it here and there, or being like, hey guys, this is a good place. If you need to vent, we can talk about it. If that's not enough and you need more, here are the resources I have for you, kind of thing. Just being a person who advocates for positive mental health. That's a person that I will 100% follow on Twitter. And once they look at your Twitter profile, they probably see you stream. They'll follow you back. Great conversation. Start from there. Like, you never at any point even have to say, hey, I stream. They're probably going to see that you stream. And if they care, they're going to come check it out. If not, just make that connection and start discussing things with them that you guys have a shared interest on. The tag system on Twitch is hot garbage. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. I have to get to the tag by Googling it. I have to Google Twitch mental health tag. That is how I get to the tag to go to it. If you have a tag you want to look at, there's gambling, there's poker, like there's acoustic music, country music. There's all kinds of stuff. Just Google that tag, click it, and it takes you to a directory of nothing but that tag, people who are using it. You can just start scrolling through and looking for it. And it's way easier than scrolling through Call of Duty.
Okay, so see if you go to browse, right, on Twitch, and you just filter by and enter in the name of the tag on the filter.
Does it actually work now? Bro, yes, that's beautiful.
So you can use the tag system. You can use the search system in browse to find the tags that are specific to you. Maybe it's mental health, maybe it's comedy, art, anything. So yeah, it's finally working. Looks at it.
Cool. And if you just click on it too, it gives you like a scroll list to scroll through it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there is some very specific stuff in here.
Right. Okay, so now you guys know that. So that's good. Let's see. I'm gonna let MPI start with this in a second. Stream less if your stream hasn't seen growth in the last few months, which is totally normal, and literally every channel everywhere has had this. Maybe shorten the streams down to 3 or 4 hours instead of 6 or 7 or more. Maybe schedule another day off so you can have more time every week to think about how you can grow your channel or your brand, and actively put in the time to work on those things. It's easy to slack, but it's not rewarding to do so. I've fallen victim to this as well, where I'll take a day off to do something and then I'll just slack the entire day away. Like, I'm like 8 a.m. All right, I'm going to start working. And then it's like 12:30 in the afternoon and I haven't done anything but aside from like watch Joe Rogan podcast or something like that. And it's just, it doesn't do any good at all. But MPI, I'm going to let you take this one real quick.
Okay. So the biggest thing that Veli said that I think everyone should kind of take into consideration is, if you've gone through a period of no growth, great, you're on Twitch. Everyone has that. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doing something wrong or you're doing something incorrectly or that you have to change anything. It could literally just mean it was nice outside and people went outside for a month. Like they were camping, hunting, fishing, riding their bike. They just weren't sitting and watching as much Twitch at that time. And that's cool. That happens. But if you're looking at, it's been 6-7 months and no growth, nothing new at all, you maybe start looking at something new. But the big thing too, like you said, is shorten the streams down. Streaming 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is ridiculous. You can do that when you're already big, if that's what you want to be doing, because at that point you're not worried about growth anymore. You're Tim the Tatman level. Mm-hmm. Or ninja level, and you can pay editors to edit your clips together and then upload it to your YouTube channel and manage your YouTube channel and manage your social media, and you don't have to do everything else. But whenever you're 20 to couple hundred average viewers, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is ridiculous. It's hard to be on that much because when you're live, you're on, you're entertainment, you're moving, you're talking more, you're probably up playing what you're doing, or making a bigger deal out of stuff than you normally would, so you get tired, and you're not giving yourself enough time to do stuff outside of being live. So those like 3 to 4 hour streams, and then having time to edit like a YouTube video or put some clips on Instagram and Twitter and just watch other people's streams and interact with them, like we were kind of talking about earlier, makes a huge difference. I don't even remember the rest of the
No, you're good. Let's see. Yeah, so stream less, maybe take an extra like day off during the week, like schedule a day off so that you have the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I only stream 4 days a week, unless it's for like a special occasion. Like I was saying, like last week, since it was Halloween and I love Halloween, it was like I threw in 2 extra days there, but I wouldn't do that normally. Or like if you're going to do a charity stream or a celebration event of some kind, that's fine to do those extra days. But like, just like on your normal week, man, I do 4 days a week, 4 hours a night. And one of those is a tabletop session that I have a full team of people live and, role playing with me. So like, I'm probably doing like an hour worth of work during that actual show. So it's not as straining on me as the other 3 are. Sure, I still have to edit that podcast. I have to upload it to YouTube like we do. I make all of the graphics for it, as far as like the motion and video graphics. But like, other than that, 4 hours a night, 4 days a week, that's enough for me, dude. By Friday, I'm like, oh, thank God. I don't have to be live tonight. This is sick. And that's not to say I don't love streaming. I love streaming. Like, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. But like, there's also that, you can love the job you have, but still, whenever you have that night off or that day off, it's still like, dude, I don't got to do nothing. This is great. Like, everybody needs that time to recharge. So find what works for you and do that. If it's 3 hours, it's 3 hours. If it's 5 hours, it's 5 hours. If you're starting to get to the point of feeling like you have to stream for 8 hours Monday through Friday or whatever it is, then take a step back and reassess, because that's not going to be beneficial for you or for really anyone. Like Dogg said, post a schedule and make sure that you try to stick to it. If you have to change that, though, that's cool. Like, if you're like, I had to shift to nighttime streaming whenever like the COVID lockdown started, because my wife works from home now. She has a real job where she has to talk to people on the phone. So me being the jackass that yells at video games on the internet in the background wasn't going to work out. So that's why I moved to, I work at night now. And if you have to do that, that's cool. Just do it. Make sure you communicate it well, and do it. You know what I mean? And that's fine. If you find that works better, or maybe something comes up where you have to do it, just roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dogg Gaming, you want to give a little bit more of an answer to Marius real quick, and then we'll...
Yeah, so if your schedule is changing every week, you just need to make sure that people are aware of the day and time and places that you post your schedule. That's the important thing. You have to get your community keyed into the idea that, and this is just purely me using a hypothetical day and time, that, for example, Sunday at 4 p.m., the schedule goes up. And so you need to really make a big deal of, this is when my schedule goes up. Make sure you check it. Constantly be going on about the idea that your streams do change week to week. So you do need to check the schedule. It's not going to be just, you're not going to be able to just turn up all the time at a certain specific time. So really, you really need to stress your schedule and be consistent with it. You can't, if you get people and they're expecting it to be at that time, it has to be at that time, So that's where you need to be really, really rigid and really, really on point. But honestly, a schedule, I don't know if a lot of people, I mean, obviously people that have been streaming for long enough know the power of it. I think a lot of people that are starting out don't realize a schedule is really, really important, and it really does help your community to lock in the idea, oh, they're playing such and such on such and such a day. I need to remember that, and that's how you get around this issue of having constantly changing schedule.
Yeah, Marius, I hope that helps you. I think that they both answered the question pretty well and hit everything that they should have. But yeah, so if you have any more questions, let us know. We'd love to answer more for you. Let's see. Dogg Gaming, what did you have about the stream less? And if your stream has
Yeah, so I think a big thing that people need to look at here is stop looking at Tim the Tapman and Ninja and Shroud and all these people. Stop looking at them as your goal. For a start, these people make up 0.01% of the streaming community. They are the top of the top. The chances of you getting there they're minuscule. At the end of the day, they're minuscule. Now, you might get there, yeah, but you shouldn't be. That shouldn't be your aim. You should be looking at, when you're starting out. You should be looking at smaller and mid-sized streamers and smaller partners as well, right? Because those are the people that have done the work that you're going to have to do. They have put in the time. They've put in the work to develop a rapport with their community and to build their community and to integrate themselves into other people's communities as well, which are all the things that you need to do to grow. So stop looking at Tim the Tapman and such as being that this is how it's done. Tim streams 8, 9, 10 hours a day because all he has to do is play games. Tim literally can go his entire stream, and if he wants to just look at chat a couple of times, yeah, he'll talk to chat and such, but he doesn't really have to. He's not really having to, work in the sense of how smaller streamers have to work for that interaction and to keep people entertained. Tim's playing games, and that's cool. That's fantastic for him. Do you know what I mean? But that's not going to be what you're doing. I mean, you're not going to be able to play 8-9 hours a day and just be streaming games because you're needing to talk to chat, you're needing to communicate, you're needing to do all these things. Also, it's just not worth your time. Tim and these people, and I'm sorry I keep using Tim, but these guys, the reason they're streaming that long is the longer they stream, the more money they make. That's literally it. And that equation does not work out for smaller and new streamers. That's not how that works out at all, right? So the reality is, it's counterproductive in so many ways, and you're aiming for doing something that's never going to benefit you anyway. Because the longer you stream, it doesn't mean you're going to get more donations and more bits and more and more subs and all that. That's not what it means. It just means that you're probably streaming to less and less people as the day goes on, So stop looking at these big streamers. Start looking at smaller streamers. Start looking at smaller and mid-sized partners and look at the work that they put in. You mentioned Jambo earlier on. Jambo has built a huge community. That's where Jambo put in her work. She put in her work building a community and being connected to other communities on Twitch and being connected to the general Twitch community. No offense meant to Jambo, but Jambo didn't make it to partner because she's fantastic at games. We keep coming back to this whole thing, which I think is a big stumbling block for a lot of people. I've got to be good at games to be a streamer. No, there's huge streamers out there that are awful at games. I mean, Tim's one, but I mean, but the point being, change who your Twitch role models are. Have more realistic role models. Have role models that are doing the things that you need to achieve to grow your channel. Stop looking at this top tiny percentage of the elite of the stream world. They do it different. They live in a different world. It works different for them. The rest of us have to apply the different things to our streaming to what we're doing in order to get on.
That actually, that last bit was really, really important. Really, really important. Because the top level streamers, the elite that's basically the dream, but that's not like a role model for the day-to-day activity that you should be doing. And that really did make a lot of sense, and I hope a lot of people heard that. I hope you guys tell more people that too, because that's huge. So the last tip, the last little thing that we have for today, it's not so much necessarily about streaming, it's just kind of about everything, and I hope it just kind of puts a little bit more motivation in your step today as you go into this week. it's just because you don't have opportunities today doesn't mean that you won't have opportunities in the future. Create your own luck by sticking to your craft and treating everyone fair. This one's huge because as long as you just stay humble, it's keep grinding, keep trying to get better, and keep pursuing what you're doing, and you treat everybody fair, people will definitely notice. I know I use this example a lot, but when I went to Seattle to be there for a Twitch Prime event, it wasn't necessarily because of any one thing. It's because of a bunch of situations that I kind of put myself in where I did the right thing, essentially, where I started streaming. TRUgaming found me. I met somebody that worked for Twitch Prime through TRUgaming, and then because the interactions with that I had with that person all went pretty well, whether I knew about it or not, it ended up with something that ended up like being in my favor. You know what I mean? So create your own luck, man. Keep grinding and pushing it out every day. MPI, what do you got about this one, man?
I mean, you kind of just like had a perfect example there, you know? You start streaming, nobody's there. You work hard, you genuinely interact and connect with people, and someone can find you, and then the next day, you're going to Seattle. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of, it all happens, just because, I got on Twitter today and, nobody invited me to be a partner with their company or, cared about my stream doesn't mean that, you're not going to have that eventually. You just have to keep doing what you're doing and, give a shit about people,
Right.
Like you said, treat people fairly. Like, don't use people because they have connections. Don't, tweet at, your favorite community director and be like, yo, love the game, can I have it for free? Like, just connect with people and have chats and interactions, and that can lead to working with companies if that's what you want, partnering with various organizations if that's what you want to do. Whatever it is that you want to do, just talk to those people and make connections and be around them, be on their radar, and it'll either work out great or you keep working until something does. Or maybe you never partner with those people, and that's cool. That doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job on Twitch or you're not an entertaining person. Maybe it just means they don't have partnerships that they offer, or there's something that doesn't line up there. That's cool. Just like stream, have fun, connect with people, and make good stuff.
I'm going to since this last topic, I'm going to finish this topic on a little hip hop. I'm sure Velokk will enjoy this. This what we're talking about here comes down to what go around come around. Okay, what you put out into the world is what you'll get back. If you're a shitty person, people will be shitty to you in response. Put good vibes into the world, and listen, it's not 100%. It's not 100% guaranteed. Not there are shitty people out there, but put enough good vibes out in the world, and good vibes will come your way. This is a huge thing, and something that a lot of people in the world, not just the streaming, but a lot of people in the world fail to realize. Be a nicer person. Things will actually fall in your place, into place for you easier. And you know what, as well, even if all your dreams don't fall into place, you'll still be happier because you'll be putting good vibes out, and that's just good for the soul. That's just good for your mental health, So yeah, what go around come around.
Yeah. And another thing just to kind of focus on this is the keep what was it? Keep sticking to your craft while also doing this. Keep working and grinding it out every day, because people will see that you treated them fair, no matter like who they are or who you are. You treated them fair, and if you stick to your craft, you keep getting better at it. People will definitely notice, and they'll want to support you because they see that just the kindness that you have for everybody. So why wouldn't they want to send some kindness your way? Not necessarily like financially or anything, but just any sort of like emotional support, mental support, whatever it is. Just the support it'll come back to you. You know what I mean? And it's just the good vibes thing, like Dogg Gaming was saying. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you for your questions. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking with us. I really appreciate you. Dogg Gaming, what are you doing? Where can people find you? And yeah.
Well, I'm Dogg_gaming on Twitch and Dogg Gaming on all other social media platforms. I am a variety FPS streamer for my sins. And you can always find a good fun in my channel. A very, very wonderful community, even if I do say so myself. Very welcoming. And we are also a safe space for people that have mental health issues, that maybe want to discuss mental health issues. It's somewhere that you can come and discuss those things and know that you will be treated with respect. So yeah.
Awesome. Please go check them out. MPICreates, what are you doing and where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere as MPICreates, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Monday nights we do a tabletop RPG session set in the world of Vampire the Masquerade. So if you want to see us deal with all of that mess and make a bunch of jokes while we do it, that's perfect. The rest of the week we play a variety of games. Right now I'm on a big kick of horror games. You know, I'm a big fan of horror and Halloween stuff, and it's bleeding into the rest of the year for me right now, I think. So if you like scary stuff or just creepy worlds, come check us out. I typically stream at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time till about 11. So if you need some evening, nighttime entertainment, I would like to be there for you. Similar to Dogg, we're a place you can come talk about your mental health if you need to. Whether it's just you had a bad day at work, going through, a breakup, dealing with whatever problems you may have. You're not going to be judged when you come to our chat to talk about it. It's a welcoming community to do that. And if I can't help you, or we can't just help you through venting, we have a lot of resources available for people, whether you live in the US or around the world. We have a resource for you to use. You can go somewhere and get help. So yeah, guys, hope you come by sometime.
Awesome. Please go check these guys out. I would really appreciate it. If you don't do it, I will ban you, all of you. That's a fact. My name is Velokk_TV. You can find me at Velokk_TV on everything. I've been playing a little bit of different games lately, a lot of Call of Duty, some Phasmophobia and stuff like that. And just trying to have a good time and hang out with people and show them that no matter how bad a day can get, it can also still be a good day. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Go out there and make somebody's day better. Tell somebody you love them, and keep fucking grinding. And we'll see you next week, 11 a.m. EST as always. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.